back, guys, to Crit City. As promised, we are back at the most important race of my week. I love doing Crit City. The tactics are more simple, but it also makes you feel better when it comes off, like today. So straight out the pen, obviously some people are going alpha level as normal. I've kind of learned just to sit in at 280 watts and hope that a group forms around, which exactly what's happening right now. Something that I noticed about this race compared to my previous Crit City race, if you haven't checked it out, check it out because I won that one, is that this group was more traditional, that they pushed the pace more than there was the race right now. The first lap is always a quick lap, but if you check on the right hand side throughout the video, people are getting PBs all over the place because the pace which is being pushed and pushed and pushed. So yeah, start with the t-shirt here. I'll be the one that comes off after a while. So I've put the power chart at the bottom there so you can see power. For some reason I completely forgot that wasn't even on the screen for the last couple of videos. So yeah, typical up these little kickers, really low RPM, which I think is destroying my legs really now I think about it. I think for the next time I'm going to do it for City, one, I'm going to try and do a C race, so that will be interesting. But I'm also going to try and lower my gears and cadence up there, just to sort of save my legs for the sprint. Because I think putting out 500 watt spike, 8 times after 8 laps, that's got me taken away from my final sprint. So new tactic for 5 minutes now. But yeah, at this stage, just trying to stay with the front group, because if you get dropped off the front group in the first lap, it's pretty difficult to get back onto it, especially a group this size. I think if you're at the back, you're probably around 16th, I think. Let's have a look, see if I get back. So this guy's still going up the front. He isn't going to achieve much for that, because with the pack this size, this time without doing any effort. So it's things like that you've got to take into account for the rest of the race. You've got to notice these little things where you can get an advantage. So we'll store that for later, use that. But yeah, just trying not to eat wind, just trying to stick in the middle to the back of the pack. I am conscious of the later laps where it starts to stretch out. But after the first lap we'll speed things up because, as we know, it's pretty repetitive. It's just 8 short laps, 2 kilometers each, I think. We'll see. First lap done, now moving off because I need to link, power back on to stay with the pack. Let's see what's the line. Is it PB? Speed things up. So yeah, got the burrito, which is pretty useless to be honest at this point in the race. See, that guy just used his straight away just to get rid of it. I tried to use mine tactically. I mean, this guy on the left using his steamroller, pretty useless up these hills, but someone drops a featherweight, so he's probably gassed already. This guy's dropped his God, everyone's using their things. They're probably tired after that first lap. But yeah, see, things always sort of stretch out after those kickers, so for the next couple laps I'm going to focus on staying mid to front of the pack over that last kicker, just because I don't want to get dropped on that long stretch. And the cobbles are a difficult one for me because sometimes I over push myself like this and end up punching through the pack. Other times I get dropped, so it's balancing that. Skip ahead to lap 4, up the kickers again. At this point, heart rate's still pretty low. My legs are getting tired though because I'm putting in these big efforts up these hills each time. Yeah, elbows flapping, using my undraftable again for the second time, trying to cause some people some pain. And yeah, trying to push myself to the front of this group so that I don't get dropped. Yeah, Kai dropping his steamroller again. I don't want to sound like an expert, but I'm pretty sure that has zero effect on the road. It's only on the cobbles that it has an effect. But yeah, I'm happy with my positioning at this point. 9k out, heart rate's at 170. Just spinning the legs at this point, trying to get some recovery in. Yeah, speed things up again. There we go. See, everyone's setting new PBs around me, so I know that the pace is getting pushed. Because if they didn't have PBs in the first lap and they're getting PBs in the fourth lap, then you know that things are getting spicing up a little bit. As normal, I'm not too worried about this climb. For some reason, I managed to stick with them without putting any power down, really. It's always important for me to put power down at the top, because for some reason I think my trainer, I don't know what's wrong with it, but at the top I'll be spinning my legs as hard as possible and it will come out with like 100 watts or something, which makes no sense. Just takes like there's like a bit of lag or something on it, I don't know. I might be getting a new trainer just because the one I have now is really loud and I can't actually use it when, see look, everyone's getting new PVs other than me, which makes me feel confident. But yeah, my trainer at the minute's really loud. I've got the Elite Novo Relon trainer, and oh my god, this thing is, yeah, it's loud, so I don't want to annoy my neighbours and also my family that have to listen to it for, you know, every day almost. Yeah, same as normal, out the saddle, trying to get to the front, because at this point I can see that things are getting more and more extreme. The pack's getting drawn out more and more each time we go round, and yeah, I really just don't want to get dropped at this point. But what is interesting is that everyone in this lead pack seems to be using their drops pretty soon, so at this point in my head I'm thinking I might be fresher than them in the legs, because I'm holding on to my draft till the end, hopefully. Again, new set of PVs as we go down the cobbles, so again, faster and faster we're going round, which is good for me because I want to push myself to get better and stuff. But yeah, as normal, get spit out the front, down the climb, which is, I suppose, the advantage of being a heavier rider. And yeah, at this point we've just gone up the little rises again, and you can see the pack is really drawn out. So I'm pushing the watts up, but I'm not getting I'm being patient with it, so I'm sitting at 2.6, 2.5 watts a kilo, and I'm just going to slowly bring the group back. There's no point putting down 400 watts and blasting through the front of the pack. So yeah, just being patient, knowing that I can catch them on the second, well, on the small hill that's coming around this corner, which I think is a sign of my sort of growth as a rider on Zwift. Like before I would have smashed out 400 watts, destroyed my legs, punched my way to the front, and then would have got dropped because I'm out of breath, because I'm unfit. So yeah, here we go, brought them back as planned. Didn't lose too much energy, heart rate's not even up to 180 at this point, so yeah, but I am noticing that the pace is again going up, people taking turns in the front, doing 3.5 watts a kilo, but I'm just happy to sit at 2 watts a kilo. Speed things up again as we come around for the penultimate lap. Penultimate lap's normally an ease off lap, just because people want to be as fresh as they can be for the final lap. As you can see, new PBs again, so it doesn't look like things are slowing down at all. I'm starting to breathe quite heavily at this point, and yeah, people dropping their drops. My elbows flapping as I put down 500 watts up the kickers. And yeah, I'm going to really push for this last one because I do not want to get dropped as the group stretches out. And when it's in a long line like this, I thought I'd take the advantage and try and get up as high as I can. sort of use everyone's drafts to get to the front of the pack again. But as you can see, pretty big gaps opening up for the penultimate lap. Again, I'm not stressing. I'm managed to get myself a PR, which is pretty cool. Just trying to hold the watts steady. Don't need to be too aggressive. And again, punching my way through the pack. Ate a little bit of wind, but what can you do? Jostling for position, people trying to pick up the pace, but I mean, they're eating wind, so it's all good for me. And we come past some people to lap them. So the group shrunk from 16 to about 12, which is important because it means that the ones that are left are the stronger riders, so we're not having to pull weaker riders around. But yeah, for the final lap we'll go full speed. We'll go normal speed, see what's happening. So this guy gets the cone of shame. I did think he was a bit sketchy. But yeah, interestingly we knocked off, well, everyone around me beat their PR about 4 times in this race, which is cool. It's good for them, good for me as well, because if I'm not beating my PR, it must mean that I'm still pretty fresh. At this point, again, up the kickers, same old, spikes getting up to 500 plus watts. It's much easier to do this on the final lap because I know that I'm not going to have to do it again. But at this point I'm really thinking about my position going into the final sprint. I am pretty tired now, up to 180 heart rate, which is actually quite low for me. I think I've got quite a bit fitter since starting my Zwift journey. So yeah, 250 watts, just trying not to get dropped on this small incline, which can happen sometimes. It's a pretty weird one because on the other small hill I seem to get to the front, but on this one I seem to get dropped. So I have to be really careful on this one, but this guy bridges the gap for me, which is pretty useful. Another guy gets the cone of shame and just leaves straight away, which is pretty weird. Yeah, some more PBs, nothing's new. Try and use these cobble section to lower the heart rate a bit. Sitting at 180, still holding my draft boost from like lap 4 or something, which, you know, so I haven't had any respite because everyone else has been using their feather and all of their drops and stuff. So yeah, I think I'm definitely becoming a stronger Crit City rider, which is why I'm gonna push myself up to the C category and see if I can keep making the same amount of progress in that category. Really push myself. Yeah, this is an interesting part of the race because I start dropping the gears, start planning my attack. At this point I'm right at the back, so I do benefit from everyone's draft as I hopefully come through them, but I want to be closer, to be honest. At this point I want to be where that guy just dropped his thing, so I'm way back at the minute. I'm going to have to put a decent effort in to get to the front of this. So yeah, start my sprint at that corner. I'm not putting down much watts at all. Those kickers have really taken out of my legs. 5.7. Now at this point I just kind of stop. I should have carried on because these guys started slowing down too. So yeah. Where did we come overall? 5th, I think? 5th, not bad. 5th out of about 20 or 30 in Group D is pretty good. Average 2.5 watts a kilo, so right at the threshold for Group D. And I think Zwift Power had this as a win, so yeah, we'll take it. Even though B Davis at the top there, I've just noticed 2.4 watts a kilo, so well done to him. Yeah, Zwift Power gave me the win. 15-second power of 5.2 watts a kilo, which is pretty good for me. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend.